Have you ever noticed how your focus just kind of disappears right when you need it the most?
Yeah, totally.
Like when you're prepping for a big presentation or you're stuck on some tricky project?
Or even just like trying to be present throughout the day.
Right. It feels like that ability to stay mentally tough, to stay focused, to be resilient is something we all want.
Absolutely, yeah. We
Yeah.
all run into those times where we need that extra bit of mental strength.
So, for this deep dive, we've really focused on 6 key strategies for building that kind of mental toughness.
Right. And the thing is, it's not like you're either born with it or you're not. It's more like a set of skills that you can actually develop and improve.
And that's what's so exciting, right? That it's not fixed.
Exactly. So we're going to break down these strategies, make them super practical, no-nonsense techniques that you can start using, well, today, really, to face those challenges head on and with a lot more resilience.
I love that. So, by the end of this, we're hoping our listeners will not only get these strategies, but also see how they can actually use them in their own lives.
That's the goal, to really up their mental game.
Okay, let's jump right in. The first area we looked at is all about this idea of a growth mindset. What's at the heart of that?
Well, think of it this way. A growth mindset is about how you look at tough situations.
Okay.
Do you see them as like these huge roadblocks, things that show your limits?
Right, right.
Or do you see them more like detours?
Detours, interesting.
Yeah, detours that kind of force you to learn and grow, actually. It's really about shifting how you see your experiences, framing them differently.
So instead of thinking, I'm just not good at this,
Exactly.
someone with this growth mindset would maybe think, what?
They'd probably say something like, I'm not good at this yet.
Yet.
You see,
Yeah.
just adding that one little word, yet, changes everything.
It does.
It's acknowledging where you are right now, but it leaves the door wide open for improvement.
It's like it goes from this is the end of the story to this is just one chapter.
Right? You're not stuck. There's still so much more to learn and master.
There's this quote from Nelson Mandela that really hit me. He said, I never lose. I either win or learn.
Wow. Yeah, that's perfect.
It really sums up that whole mindset,
It does, because it highlights that every experience, even if it doesn't go the way you hoped, still teaches you something.
That's right. Yeah.
And the trick is to learn from it and use that to keep moving forward.
Take that lesson and run with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's essential if you want to be able to bounce back from setbacks and not give up when things get rough.
Okay, so that was all about how we think about challenges. But the second strategy we looked at was more about our emotions, building emotional resilience. What's the key there?
Yeah, so emotional resilience is basically your ability to recover from emotional setbacks.
So like how quickly you bounce back from stress or disappointment.
Exactly. Any kind of emotional curveball life throws at you.
And it's not about like never feeling those emotions, right?
No, not at all. Because that's just not realistic. We're human, we're going to feel things.
Right, of course.
It's more about how you navigate those feelings when they come up.
Okay, so it's more about how you handle it, not about pretending it's not there.
Right. One interesting idea we came across is this concept of actively training your calmness.
Training calmness like it's a muscle.
Exactly. Like you go to the gym to work out your biceps, you can work out your sense of calm and inner peace. It's not just something that happens, it takes effort and practice.
That's fascinating. So how do we actually train our calm? What kind of exercises can we do for that?
Well, one really practical and effective technique is box breathing.
I've heard of that.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Breathe in deeply for a count of 4, hold it for 4, breathe out slowly for 4, and hold again for 4.
Okay. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4.
Exactly. And what's really cool is how this simple rhythm actually impacts your nervous system.
Yeah, I can already feel that just doing it now.
It's like a reset button for your whole system.
Right. It's like when you're feeling all those intense emotions, it's a way to step back for a second.
It's like a circuit breaker. It creates this space between the thing that's triggering you and how you react.
Yeah, that gap gives you a chance to choose how you respond instead of just reacting impulsively.
And that's huge.
Okay, so we're training our minds to think differently about challenges. We're training our calmness. The third strategy we dove into was about developing a pre-performance routine. That sounds like something that's crucial for anyone going into a high-pressure situation.
It is, and it's really about having these consistent rituals you do before any important activity or challenge.
Okay, so it's like setting the stage mentally for what's to come.
Yeah, think of it like sending a signal to your brain that it's time to focus, to switch into performance mode.
I like that, like an on switch.
And the more consistently you do these rituals, the more your brain associates them with that heightened focus.
So can you give us some examples of what these rituals might look like?
Well, we already talked about deep breathing, and that can definitely be part of a pre-performance routine. Another powerful one is adopting a strong, confident posture, what some people call power posing.
I've heard of that too, like standing tall and holding your head high.
Exactly. And even listening to a specific song can work. Think about athletes. A lot of them have those really specific pre-game routines.
Yeah, I totally picture that. The athlete with their headphones on going through the same movements every time.
It's all about creating that mental trigger. So the key is finding what works for you and then doing it consistently.
So it's not just about the specific actions, but the consistency of doing them before you need to be at your best.
Absolutely. That's how you create that reliable pathway to getting in the zone whenever you need to.
Okay, I'm getting the picture. Now, this next one is super interesting. The fourth strategy was all about the power of our imagination, practicing mental rehearsal.
Right. And that's really about visualizing yourself successfully going through a specific situation before it actually happens.
Oh, interesting. So you're basically creating a mental picture of what you want to see happen.
Exactly. It's not just daydreaming. It's really actively picturing those steps and the successful outcome.
And the more detail you can bring into that visualization, the better. Right?
Yeah, that's the idea. The more sensory details you can add, the more effective it becomes. Like not just what you'll see, but what you'll feel, hear, even the physical sensations.
Wow, so it's about engaging all your senses.
Right. The research actually shows that top performers in all sorts of fields use this. By mentally rehearsing success, you're building confidence and preparing your mind for the pressure.
It's like running a practice simulation in your head.
Exactly. And when you engage all those senses, it's like your brain can't really tell the difference between that really vivid mental rehearsal and the real thing.
That's incredible.
So you're kind of pre-wiring your brain for success.
All right, the fifth strategy we explored is this idea of getting comfortable with discomfort, which at first sounds a bit counterintuitive.
It does, right.
Yeah.
But it's really about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, experiencing those moments of discomfort in a controlled way, and actually building your resilience through that.
Okay, so what are some real-world examples of what that might look like?
Well, think about things like taking a cold shower, even though you'd rather not. Or getting up early for a workout when you'd rather sleep in.
Yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
Or even sticking with a difficult problem, even when you've already failed a few times. It's about choosing to face those uncomfortable feelings head on.
It's like you're teaching your mind to handle that resistance.
Exactly. And to really reinforce that mindset, it can be helpful to use an internal mantra, something like, I do hard things. It sounds simple, but it can be really powerful.
I like that. It's a quick reminder that you're capable of pushing through. But why is it that embracing discomfort actually makes us tougher in the long run?
Well, the idea is that if you're always avoiding discomfort, always taking the easy way out, you're actually making life harder down the road. You're limiting your growth, your ability to handle those tough situations that are bound to come up.
Because they will come up, inevitably.
That's right. So by intentionally facing discomfort, you're expanding your comfort zone, building up your resilience, and in the end, making life's inevitable challenges feel a bit easier.
It's about investing in your future strength.
Exactly.
Okay, I get it. Now, for the sixth and final key strategy, we talked about controlling the controllables. What's the gist of that one?
Well, it's about being really mindful of where you direct your energy and attention, focusing on the things that you can actually influence, and letting go of the things you can't. It's all about managing your mental energy effectively.
Sounds like a great way to reduce stress. Can you give us some clear examples of what we can control versus what we can't?
Sure. You have complete control over your attitude, how much effort you put in, and your focus. But things like the weather, what other people think, the ultimate outcome of a situation, those are outside your control.
Yeah, it's about knowing the difference between what you can change and what you can't. There was a really impactful phrase that summed this up. Focus equals power.
Exactly. When you direct your energy towards what you can actually impact, you become so much more effective and less likely to feel overwhelmed by those external factors.
Okay, so the first step is to identify what you can control in a situation and focus your efforts there. But letting go of the things you can't control, that's easier said than done. How do you actually do that?
It definitely takes practice. It starts with recognizing that some things are just outside your influence and then making a conscious choice not to dwell on them. You're essentially freeing up mental space to focus on what you can do. It's about accepting reality and then acting strategically.
It's like choosing where to direct your energy, like a laser beam.
That's a great analogy. All right, so we've gone through all 6 strategies for building unbreakable mental toughness. How about a quick recap?
Great idea.
So, first up, embrace a growth mindset. See challenges as opportunities to learn and grow.
Got it.
Second, build emotional resilience. Train your ability to bounce back from tough emotions.
Okay, number 3.
Develop a consistent pre-performance routine. Prepare your mind for those important moments.
Number 4.
Practice mental rehearsal.
Yeah.
Visualize yourself succeeding in vivid detail.
Number 5.
Get comfortable with discomfort. Step outside your comfort zone and build that resilience.
And last but not least,
Control the controllables. Focus your energy on what you can actually influence.
I love that. And the great thing is these aren't just theories, they're practical tools.
Yeah, anyone can start using them right away in their daily life.
So as you're listening to this, think about which one of these strategies resonates with you the most.
Right, and think about what's one small step you can take today to start building your own unbreakable mental toughness.
Maybe it's trying that box breathing next time you feel stressed out. Or maybe it's looking at a recent setback as a learning opportunity.
Whatever it is, the important thing is to take that first step.
And start cultivating that inner strength.
That's it.